You could be ending a relationship right now where there was not an equal give and take. Ten of Wands, Five of Swords. You can see how both of these cards, the cats are looking at each other kind of with not quite trustworthy eyes. And that's where I feel this happened. This is what happened. The Ten of Wands, I feel like, is your energy, and it's giving, I trust, I gave a lot, I came with an open heart, an open mind, and then some. And then with the Five of Swords, it was like, I see this person actually was struggling a lot with how they see themselves and worthiness issues, perhaps self love issues. And they're like, well, why would you invest so much when you don't even know me? And there's this level of secrecy or deception that they carry with them, and as well a certain level of chaos that they just won't admit to. And maybe it was like, either maybe a lot of that was under the surface and then it all boiled up and came out at the same time, or it was just like subtly putting you down, or there was maybe little comments they had that where they started to shame you for loving so openly when they're not loving themselves at that same level or capacity. So, what I feel like in the long run is this doesn't make sense. This isn't a connection where there's equal give and take. This is more of a anxious and avoidant type relationship. But it's showing you a lot and highlighting a lot within you. And I feel like you're really taking these lessons to heart, even though it's difficult. I have the Emperor and then the Four of Pentacles. Someone got pedestalized here, and I really feel like it was this Five of Swords energy, which is so funny. It's always the ones that don't have that much self-worth that get pedestalized, because, and then it's us, you know, that maybe have some, but also like there's two sides to every coin, there's two sides to every stick. So it's like your self-worth of overgiving is here too. So, what I feel is like what maybe happened where they first pedestalized you, it's like the scales got turned around and now you're pedestalizing them and trying to show up and come with what they need and how to make the relationship work, stuff like that. But it's like they wanted you to be different. They have like expectations of others around them. Because they think if others around them are in a certain way, then they'll be happy and comfortable. But really, there's work that they need to do in themselves that they're not addressing, and it's just easier to point the finger outside themselves as to why things aren't working out or why things feel off. And it does say more about this person than it does you, but also here, it's taking responsibility for pedestalizing someone that once pedestalized you. And it's like you have to look like, where did those scales get turned? And I feel like sometimes you can't help it. Like sometimes these people, they do hold things from you. They're deceptive with you. They're not open and honest with you. And at that same time, I feel like you can look back and see little scenarios where you gave away your power or you crossed your own boundary to keep the connection. There's something where you were giving too much of yourself. And I think that is one of the biggest lessons here. And then for that person, if they were to be self reflective, it would be, where are you not being open and honest? Where are you avoiding? Where are you pointing blame that's not due? Stuff like that. So it's hard, but it's taking a radically honest look from both perspectives, because then that's how you can see all sides and come to, it's not a universal truth, but it's just seeing, you know, where each person was falling short within themselves, because all relationships are just reflections of ourselves. You know, like I would be making a perception of you, you'd be making a perception of me, but that doesn't mean we really see each other. even I feel like if you're with someone for a lifetime, I feel like you're not going to really ever know someone at their depths, because we're just so vast, all of us, and we're all in our own individual universes, and we're all creating our perceptions of each other, but they're not ever based in reality. We're all in our own realities. I have the Two of Pentacles. I feel like this relationship really shook you up. The Knight of Wands. I think a couple things. You could have gone back into past tendencies where you were fighting for the relationship to continue. Where you just gave a lot of yourself and like felt like you had to be the one to prove yourself or to put in the actions to make the relationship work, to prove to this person that you're worthy or something like that. It's you putting in the effort to continue the relationship. Or I feel as well, there could have been this moment where you said, okay, well, we're not on the same page. This person doesn't really want to see my perspective from an honest point of view. So I'm going to hold myself and I'm going to move on, essentially. So it could have been both, like a combo, or you really could have let go of this past patterning of the trying to repair, trying to fix, and instead stepped into sovereignty and wholeness and recognizing, like, as although you don't like what's happened, you're just accepting it. And that sucks, but at the same time, it's very liberating, especially if you're breaking up these past patternings of clinging, holding on to someone that isn't fully choosing you, for example. And again, that's relationships of all kinds. So, yeah, that's where I feel you had an opportunity to get back into balance within yourself, to not go back into past patterning. And it's a lonely thing, right? Like the Hermit at the top of the deck. It's such a lonely thing, but also it's the thing that saves you again and again. I have the Ace of Wands, and you notice like the Hermit is also holding a wand here. So it's like, even when it's lonely, you come back to your essence. You come back to your magic. And that is something that no one can touch or take away from you. That is your saving grace. That's what is always with you. And that's the relationship that truly matters most and the one that you've cultivated the most. So always having that, you're never truly alone because you're everything. Life is us, we are life. So you're connected to it all. You're connected to the infinite intelligence that you are. And although on the outside in the physical reality, it can get lonely and you feel betrayed and stuff like that, it's like, but really at the end of the day, you got yourself, no matter what's happening on the outside. And I feel that these moments of betrayal, of hurts in relationships, they always bring us closer to ourselves. And they always, I mean, if we choose to do the work, right? Which I feel people that follow my content is very much about people doing the work. And it's not about avoiding emotional processing. It's about recognizing patterns from the past and how it's a gift that your heart loves so deeply and that it can tear open so powerfully, and that you get to just witness. Like, obviously when you're going through it, it's like, I don't even want to be living the human experience right now. Like, this sucks ass, but also it's like such a gift to be able to feel and grieve so deeply. And that those moments are just that, they're moments. They feel like they last so long when you're in them, but then truly they're not actually that long. I feel they're chapters, and they're the requirements, they're the foundations for how you see yourself, how you nurture yourself, how you show up in life. the Queen of Pentacles and the Four of Wands, I mean, this could not depict better like how much the work you do, the emotional work, then translates to how well and how deeply you actually choose yourself, and then how much you actually get blessed in this life, like again and again. And that's where I feel like no one can touch you. And also that life has your back because you have your back. Like however we're being inside ourselves, life is just reflecting that. So you've gotten to know the depths of you again and again. You haven't abandoned yourself, even in those moments where you're so utterly alone. And that's the foundational work that manifests a beautiful life for you. So trust that the work that you're doing is powerful, is purposeful, and that it leads you to the best moments, finding the best partner, finding, a soul family, finding the life of your dreams. Don't settle, stay true to your values, the foundational work no one can touch or take away from you. And yeah, that's where you get blessed up again and again.